Hi, welcome back to the ANTS Subang YouTube channel. As promised in our previous video, this week we bring you the ANTS Subang tips. If your ants are anything like mine, then they love to eat mealworms. Mealworms are a healthy, nutritious snack full of protein that helps your ant colony lay lots of eggs. So in this video, it is going to be a show and tell rather than a step-by-step guide. The objective is to show you how simple it is to farm your own mealworms without being too elaborate or technical. I have been using this method for as long as I can remember, ever since I kept fish as pets, but it has evolved over time. Yes, you can find a bunch of tutorials online, and these tips are not any different. If you want more in-depth knowledge on how to understand and care for them, then this is not the video for you. Today, we're going to see how you can grow your own mealworms and exactly what mealworms are. Mealworm beetles go through 4 distinct stages of development: egg, larva, pupa, and adult, and mealworms are the larvae. Let the show and tell begin. Get a 3-tier plastic drawer just like the one I have, or you can salvage one that you might already have at home. You do not need big drawers, just manageable ones depending on the amount of ant colony you have. For a start, I recommend 1 foot in length by half foot width drawers. Eventually, as they grow and the production of mealworm babies catches up, you will need a larger one, but that will be in the future plans. Let's look at the mature mealworms first. So what are mealworms? Mealworms are actually larvae of an adult darkling beetle, also known as Tenebrio molitor scientifically. Darkling beetles are scavengers that can be found in grain or corn farms. They like dark, dry places that store grain or other edibles such as corn flour. They survive by consuming all of the nutrients and moisture found in the grain that they have infested. You should only feed the mealworms to your ant colony. The pupae in beetles should be left on the farm to reproduce. Once every week, you should look for pupae in the mature mealworm sections, and collect them into a separate container. A mealworm has a lifespan of 2 to 3 months and molts its exoskeleton several times before reaching the pupa stage. The pupa basically looks like a dead stumpy mealworm, but it is busy transforming itself into a darkling beetle. The only movement you will see is an occasional twitch from the tail if disturbed. It does not eat or take nutrition during this period. It will remain a pupa for about 2 to 3 weeks before hatching into a white beetle that, over a period of days, will turn from brown to black. In ideal circumstances, the complete life cycle can be done in as little as 5 months. Whenever you see beetles, separate them and put them in their correct home, which brings us to the darkling beetle drawer. A female beetle will lay up to 500 eggs during her short lifetime of a couple of months. After a couple of weeks, the eggs will hatch and become larvae, which we know as mealworms. Feeding your darkling beetle is just effortless. To be on the safe side, I only feed clean carrots and apples. I only feed them every once a week. Now you just need to wait and let them do their business. A female beetle will lay the eggs onto the substrate, and eventually it will drop to the bottom drawer where mealworm babies are born. You will just need to make many holes at the bottom of the beetle drawer, just like mine. Be sure to keep the hole size between 5 mm and 8 mm to prevent any smaller beetles from dropping down. It won't be a problem, just that you'll need to pick them up later. Occasionally, baby mealworms are born in the adult beetle drawers. Eventually, they will drop to the bottom. In the eggs and babies drawer, there is not much action here other than the movements in the substrate. There are hundreds of baby mealworms crawling around. Some are very small, up to 2 to 3 millimeters in length. You will need good magnification to see them. At this point, you now just need to keep your baby mealworms fed and growing. It is important to know what to feed the mealworms, since they can directly impact the health of your ant colony. Don't worry about removing dead beetles that fall from the top drawers. The larvae will do that for you. Do, however, remove any bits of moldy food and discard it. Mealworms are just about the easiest thing to feed your ant colony. Who doesn't love the chaos that comes from tossing in the mealworms? Watch your ants swarm over them. I like my mealworms pre-cut, and if you are diligent like me, I will devein them whenever I can. Mostly, I just cut them up. Some are just too small to devein. Give your ant colony sufficient quantities, but a moderate serving. Mealworms have less protein per gram than any other feeder insects. Mealworms can act as a substitute food if you find yourself out of feeders for your ant colony. They are fast and easy to prepare. From all of this, I bet you will have a mealworm farm of your own anytime now. Let me drop a few pointers that you will need to know. You need to make sure the farm is thoroughly and always dry. Only put a small cup of water in each compartment. You can put your mealworm farm anywhere indoors, and if you want to put it outdoors, just make sure it isn't under bright lights or direct sunlight. My mealworms are kept indoors. Once you have your farm and ideal location ready, you will need to fill it up with substrate for the mealworms. The exact amount you will need depends on the size of your container. For my farm size, it is about 1 inch deep. For the substrate, you want to use oats. You can use rolled or crushed oats. It does not really make any difference as they will munch on the oats, further breaking them down. Last but not least, you need to get mealworms to start the farm. Most people will say the more the better, but for my farm size, I will start with about 100 to 150 grams of mealworms. That's what you should aim for to start with. Once you have purchased your mealworms, gently pour them into your adult mealworm section drawer and let their life cycle begin. So this is how to make a mealworm farm the simple way, and have some fun doing it. This is an excellent project for kids or young adults. It is easy, doesn't require any high maintenance, and isn't labor intensive. It's also a natural, self-replicating food source for your ant colony. I find the easiest way to collect the worms is to add new food to the farm. You can use a vegetable such as a carrot and place it into your container, and leave it for 5 minutes or so. The worms will latch onto the carrot, pull the carrot out, and shake it over another empty container, and you will have lots of mealworms to feed your ants with. There are many insect feeders you can give to your ant colony, from roaches, superworms, crickets, and many others, but there is one catch though. Feeding your ants can get expensive. Fortunately, mealworms are far cheaper, and you can grow your own mealworms for a one-time setup cost and provide your ant colony with healthy snacks all year round. In the meantime, I have overproduced the darkling beetles, and I am letting go of a few containers of them. I hope you find this video enjoyable, and remember that any further details you might want to know about mealworms can be found online. There is an abundance of information there. This video was made because many of you wanted to know how to start a mealworm farm, and this is just a video to get you ready for one. That is what show and tell is all about. Thank you for watching. ANTS Subang.